Checking the forward or downstream signal levels across many channels or frequencies is one of the basic measurements cable technicians perform. It shows the power level of the carrier that is bringing the data or information to the customer's home. You may have a list of channels or frequencies you check on your own. The cable operator may also have their own they want you to use. We are now going to look at these signal levels using the channel check and the quick check functions. From the home screen, go to CATV, then Channel Check. The meter, when connected to active cable service, will give you all types of measurements. Now, just like in most functions under the CATV tab, you have the option of checking tap, ground block, or CPE locations. Once you select where you want to check, press Start. We're going to start at the tap location. You can see that the Viavi auto-detects the carrier frequencies being used and will start to build the information. It should only take about 20 to 30 seconds. Once you see 100% on the dashboard, you can look at details for each channel. Now, I know this seems like a lot to look at and try to keep track of, but the top 4 measurements are most important and good indicators of signal strength and quality. This area under the bars tells you the channel number and frequency it's at. This also displays the type of carrier being used, analog or digital. Analog would be listed as NTSC, digital would be QAMs or QAM. This also shows how wide the frequency range for that channel is. Right now, I'm looking at channel 4. You can see this one is 6 MHz wide. You can look at each channel individually, and it gives you live measurements updated every second. You can see here some of the levels fluctuating a bit. Now you can also add up to 16 favorites by going to that specific channel and touching on the little star. I'm going to make channel 4 one of my favorites. It's a low frequency, and when I'm checking signal levels, I don't just check one channel or frequency. I would want to check a range of channels or frequencies from low to high. As I move from one channel to the next or scroll sideways through, I can see detailed information about each one I stop on. I'm going to look at this OFDM channel 1 because it seems like we may have a problem there. I'm also going to save that one as a favorite. Check out that frequency range it's using, a 96 MHz wide channel. There's 1,880 carrier frequencies within that one channel. I'm going to keep going through looking at some more. Now, even though most cable operators have gone to a full digital spectrum, there are still a few using some analog carriers. I stopped on channel 61 just to show you because in this cable system, it's an analog channel. I'm going to save that as a favorite too. The next tab down is the Spectrum tab. It's just another way of looking at the signal levels as well as the noise that exists below those carriers. Tilt shows from the lowest to highest frequency the signal levels and shows the difference between the signal level at the highest and lowest frequencies. Favorites is where you can look at just the ones you have set as favorites. Now, I already had some favorites saved in here. Then I added channels 4, 1, and 61 from before. It shows basic information, channel, frequency, signal level, and how far away the noise is from the signal's power, or MER. Notice that all of the other channels show MER, but channel 61 does not. MER is a measurement for digital carriers and will not register for analog. As stated earlier, there may be specific channels or carriers that the cable operator will want verified. Those may become your favorites. The bottom tab is Constellation. The Constellation display uses a grid-type format and when being used will indicate with the green dots if excessive noise exists. If you had a low number in the MER measurement, green dots would not appear grouped in squares. They would appear scattered. Basically, what you want to see are the green dots aligned or grouped in a square-type shape. The Quick Check function allows you to preset up to 10 frequencies to check quickly without having to go into the Channel Check function. It is a real-time measurement just like the Channel Check, but loads much faster since it only pulls signal levels for the preset frequencies. If you needed to check a different frequency not in your preset list, you would want to refer back to the Channel Check. First, go to Quick Check. Tap, Ground Block, and CPE are still the same options. There should be no frequencies in your Quick Check list unless you have already added some. At the bottom left, choose Configure, then Carrier Configuration. Go to Add Carrier, and you can enter the frequencies one at a time. By the way, you will need to know the frequencies and what type of carrier each one is to enter them correctly. You can also remove and replace any when necessary. Let's choose the ground block for our next test point and press Start. You can see the ones I have preset here. You can see how quickly the display shows and how the signal levels are fluctuating. The Quick Check function would probably be the first thing I look at when trying to figure out if the signal levels are going to pass, as well as checking both ends of a drop cable to determine how much signal loss occurred through those cables. Hopefully, these two important functions will help you to get signal information quickly and have you off to the next customer.